Hi, I'm Rie. I'm a tasty producer. Today, I've been challenged to take a common food and make it fancy. Here's today's rules. You must completely use the food given. You can only add to the food. You can buy whatever ingredients you wish. Let's see what we are making fancy today. Tater Tots. I've tried this before and I think it's delicious. The first time I saw this, it was in a movie called Napoleon Dynamite. I really like those. It's just very simple potato and salt and fry. But I haven't tried them for a long time, so I want to refresh my memory. It's cute. Delicious. I like this because it's crunchy, salty, potatoey. So this is delicious as it is, but this is not too fancy. So I want to transform this something very impressive. Okay, I've got some great ideas and I'm excited to make it fancy. Alright, here's what I got. Dried porcini mushrooms, onion, rosemary, garlic, thyme, shiitake mushrooms, butter, ground lamb, heavy cream, carrot, and eggs. From the pantry, I got beef stock, flour, salt, pepper, non-stick spray, Worcestershire sauce, and red wine. Okay, let's get started. Make it fancy. First, we are going to soak porcini mushroom. I have 1 cup of hot water. This is 1 ounce dried porcini mushroom. Soak this about 30 minutes. Set this aside and start chopping vegetables.
Do you have a favorite kind of mushroom?
I've never met mushroom I didn't like. There is an expensive mushroom in Japan though called matsutake. It costs about $100 per mushroom. Fragrance is really strong and it's very good. We are mincing onion like small dice, and I'm going to just peel. This is the skinniest carrot I've ever seen. Cut the same size as the onion. They are going to be in the same pot, so I'm going to just mix together. Mushroom is soaked, so you want to use the soaking water later, so don't discard. Chop mushroom, kind of similar size with onion and carrot. It's softened, so it's easier to cut. We also have shiitake mushroom. Remove the stem, so we are just using this part. You want to cut all the ingredients almost the same size so it cooks evenly. We are using different mushroom because it has a different texture and a different flavor. So all the shiitake mushroom is cut. Cut garlic next. I have a lot of knife at home, but the one I use the most is the chef's knife, and this is petty knife. Petty knife is good knife when you are cutting small things like garlics or like cutting fruits. So if you want to start cooking, I highly recommend to get chef's knife and petty knife first. Those are ready to go, and we are moving on to next step. Heat up olive oil, medium high, add ground lamb. So you kind of want to make it small pieces, so using wood spatula and break the meat, cook it until it changes color. I'm using lamb for this recipe. If you don't have lamb, you can use ground beef, seasoned with salt and pepper. You can see a lot of oil come from lamb, so you want to drain it after. Okay, so it looks good. The reason you drain the oil, you don't want to make the final dish super greasy. So next, we are going to use the same pan, but you want to wipe the excess grease, add a little bit olive oil, saute vegetable, onion and carrot first, season with a little bit salt. When you're cooking a lot of vegetables, season one by one, so you kind of layering the flavor. If you sprinkle salt on onions or carrot, it kind of helps soften faster. Okay, so onion is softened, shiitake mushroom, porcini mushroom, and garlic. And I'm sauteing with medium until all the ingredients get softened for about 7 to 8 minutes. I tend to put garlic toward to the end because sometimes it gets burnt. Add some thyme, a little bit more salt, and I'm adding back the lamb, half cup of wine, 2 tablespoons of flour. I added red wine because it's go well with lamb. and it adds depth of flavor. And add 2 cups of beef stock. We are also adding Worcestershire. 2 tablespoons. Bring this to a boil and reduce the heat to simmer. Simmer about 20 to 30 minutes until the sauce thickens. Okay, so sauce has been thickened. It's a good consistency. Transfer to ring mold. So you want to spray the mold with a little bit oil and spoon the filling into the mold. If you don't have ring mold, you can just put it in a bowl or ramekin. Flatten it with spatula, so it's easy when you are a mold. You set this aside. You're moving on to next step. Tater tots time. 1 pound of tater tots and put it in a steamer box. Put the lid back on top and steam this about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Transfer this into a bowl. I'm adding in a potato racer. Somehow a lot of cooking tool look like a torture device. It's making weird noise. When you make mashed potato, you want to use this one so you can make like nice creamy mashed potato. Tater tots is a little bit grainy and I wanted to make smooth mashed potato kind of texture.
Ray, guess where Tater Tots are from?
Isn't it America?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Tater Tots is really cute name. You cannot beat that. If you don't have potato racer, you can use potato masher or you can use fork. But don't use food processor because it makes potato very gummy. 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 4 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm going to use 2 egg yolks. And I learned tater tots is scraps from French fries, so it's no waste food, which is great. Tasty, no wasty. And season with salt. Mix everything evenly, combine well, and I'm moving on to the next step. We have this potato mixture and I have piping bag. You can kind of twist and insert piping pack so it doesn't drip, or you can use something tall like a glass. You kind of want to pipe this. I'm kind of experimenting with style. You can also do kind of like lines. So if you don't have a mold or if you don't have piping bag, you can just use casserole. It doesn't need to be fancy, but this show is making fancy, so I'm making fancy. So I'm going to bake this in an oven 375 Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes until potato is golden brown. I will need 2 cups of beef stock. Whoop, 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 whoop. And using reserved mushroom soaking water, you want to strain through mesh sieve so it catches those like sands and stuff. 1 cup of soaking water, 3 sprigs of thyme, and garlic. You don't need to chop this, you just like want to smash it. Bring it to a boil and reduce to simmer and reduce this sauce by half so the flavor is concentrated. Okay, so sauce is reduced by half. As you can see, the color is darkened. Add butter to thicken the sauce. I'm adding 2 tablespoons of butter and make sure you use the cold butter to emulsify the sauce. If you use warm butter or if you use melted butter, the sauce won't be emulsified and it will break. I'm adding 1 more and you want to whisk constantly. Since we use thyme and garlic, you want to strain. Sauce is done and we are moving on to the next step. So we baked about 25 minutes. The potato looks golden brown, it looks delicious. So I'm going to plate it, make it pretty, rather too fancy. Transferring this sauce to little gravy pot, moment of truth. And the final touch, top of the rosemary, and we are done. Tater Tots shepherd's pie, very fancy. Ryan,
Rie.
welcome to Tater Tots Wonderland.
Tater Tot Wonderland. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love tater tots.
Yeah.
Tater tots have always been with me, and when they haven't been with me, I have sought them out.
What do you think? Like, what is this?
I think that's like, it looks like a succulent. It looks like sweated onions. Yeah, that's right.
What do you taste?
Beef. Right? No? Chicken? Beef.
No. Why you?
Lamb!
Yes!
Make it fancy.
Right, Katie? Can you guess what I made fancy today?
It looks like shepherd's pie, but I can't tell from here what you've made fancy.
Yeah.
So is this like a gravy?
Yeah.
I can only tell right now that it looks like mashed potatoes on the top. It's the best shepherd's pie I've ever had.
Yes.
But I've only had like Trader Joe's and a box shepherd's pie. But when I eat the top part alone, it tastes a little bit like hash browns.
Yes.
And I don't know, is it
You're Walmart.
is it a tater tot?
Yeah.
Do I get $1 million?
Yeah.
That was delicious.
Thank you.
Can I just take the rest?
Oh yeah, of course.
It's like my bedtime.
Yeah, but
My bedtime?
you eat shepherd's pie in bed.
I don't eat food in bed. I have eaten food in bed. Rie made these tater tots fancy. Make it fancy. Make it fancy.